There are petty moves, there are bold moves, and then there is whatever YoungBoy just did in Atlanta. Because what happened on that stage was so calculated, so cold-blooded, and so deliberately designed to twist the knife that even the arena itself couldn't survive the fallout. If you're new here, hit subscribe and smash that notification bell because the hip-hop watchdog does not let stories like this slide under the radar. Now let's set the scene. YoungBoy Never Broke Again is in the middle of his Make America Slime Again tour, the MASA Tour, and every single stop has been packed out arenas with green bandanas flooding the crowd. By all accounts, he had been keeping things relatively calm, spreading positivity, staying on the music. Then the tour pulled into Atlanta, and something flipped. YoungBoy stepped on that State Farm Arena stage and invited a man named Lil Tum to stand right beside him. Now, if you don't know who Lil Tum is, buckle up. Lil Tum is a close associate of Quando Rondo, YoungBoy's protégé, and according to multiple reports, Lil Tum is the man believed to have fired the shots that killed King Von on November 6, 2020, outside an Atlanta hookah lounge. Charges were eventually dropped, with investigators leaning towards self-defense, but to Lil Durk and the entire OTF family, that man represents the worst night of their lives. And YoungBoy put him on stage, in Atlanta, in the exact city where King Von was murdered. But he didn't stop there. With Lil Tum standing right beside him, YoungBoy launched into I Hate YoungBoy, a 9-minute demolition track that name-drops Lil Durk, his fiancée India Royale, 21 Savage, Gucci Mane for daring to collaborate with Durk, and even take shots at the memory of King Von himself. The crowd went absolutely insane. The internet went nuclear. The message was not subtle. It was not accidental. This was YoungBoy looking Lil Durk's entire camp dead in the eyes and saying, "You can't touch me, and I will remind you of your loss whenever I feel like it." The consequences? State Farm Arena announced the cancellation of the second Atlanta show the very next day. No explanation, just canceled. And that wasn't even the only one. The United Center in Chicago had already canceled its YoungBoy date, citing what sources described as serious public safety concerns tied directly to his ongoing beef with Durk's OTF crew. Detroit also canceled. 3 cities, 3 shows gone, all tracing back to the same war that started when King Von drew his last breath in this same city 5 years ago. Lil Durk, for his part, is sitting in federal lockup right now, facing charges that allege he orchestrated a murder-for-hire plot against Quando Rondo, a retaliatory strike for King Von's death that allegedly left Quando's cousin Lil Pab dead. So while Durk sits behind bars waiting for trial, YoungBoy is out here selling out arenas, parading the man tied to Von's death across a stage, and performing diss tracks to tens of thousands of screaming fans. YoungBoy's own mother took to social media and said the cancellations were not meant to hurt fans, they were meant to protect them. And honestly, that line alone tells you everything you need to know about how serious this situation actually is. This is not rap beef anymore. This is a 5-year war that has claimed lives, produced federal indictments, and now has venues across America shutting their doors rather than risk what might happen when YoungBoy rolls into town. The arenas are scared, the venues are scared, and YoungBoy is selling merchandise and dropping new music. Thanks for watching.
Imagine beefing with someone so hard that you drive to their city, rent a billboard on their street, plaster your diss track all over it, and the person you're coming for does not even blink? That is the humiliating reality NLE Choppa, or as he now calls himself, NLE the Great, is currently living. And the rap world cannot stop laughing. If you're just finding us, hit subscribe and tap that notification bell right now because the hip-hop watchdog never misses a story this unhinged. Let's rewind to Halloween 2025. NLE Choppa, freshly rebranded as NLE the Great, dropped a diss track called KO, and he went full Tupac about it. Not metaphorically, literally. The man sampled the exact Dennis Edwards track that Tupac used for the most savage diss song ever recorded, Hit 'Em Up. He filmed a music video with a YoungBoy lookalike. He danced. He rapped about YoungBoy poisoning the youth. He said YoungBoy was the reason men were beating women and calling it normal. He called him a puppet of the music industry. He went in deep, hard, and personal. And YoungBoy said absolutely nothing. So NLE escalated. He rented a billboard in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, YoungBoy's own hometown, the city that made him, the streets that shaped him, and plastered KO all over it. The billboard originally featured NLE holding up a severed head designed to look like YoungBoy. That image was later